Today on Monkey Life. A new baby woolly monkey, rejected and attacked by its mother, undergoes X-rays with worrying results.
The skull should heal, it's just what damage has been done to the brain.
Okay.
Lonely cotton-top tamarin Uncas meets a new female friend
Hey, gorgeous girl.
and receives strict instructions from Steph on how to handle himself.
Remember what we said about being chilled out, Uncas?
Plus, Chimp Toprish finally conquers her fear of the great outdoors. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hopefully it'll just be a quick grab and into the box and that'll all be done.
The park provides a home for more than 260 monkeys and apes from 24 different species. It's been less than 24 hours since Alison rescued a newborn woolly monkey from the bedroom of the barn woolly's house. New mum Isla had rejected and attacked the infant before throwing it to the floor. This morning, it's being taken to the park's hospital for a thorough examination.
Feces are coming really well, but limp-ish today.
Okay.
The woolly baby's head is swollen and has visible bite marks. The team are concerned the injuries, combined with the impact as she hit the floor, may have caused a skull fracture and a bleed on the brain. Alison has nursed the infant through the night, keeping it warm and hydrated. It's impossible to know if it's in pain or has any long-term damage. An X-ray might shed some light on the situation.
You know, how responsive are we? That's the thing, but the eyes are moving together.
The infant is responding, but Alison is concerned her reactions are slow and sluggish.
At this stage, less than 24 hours, they would be clinging to mum, and she is grabbing hold of things, although in a slightly drunken, lackadaisical manner. So that's what I'm not happy about. However, we're not off the chart bad.
Taking a number of X-rays from different angles should determine if the skull has suffered serious trauma.
Go for head, first of all, that's the biggest deal.
The team work quickly. They don't want to cause the baby additional stress. The first X-ray is inconclusive.
What do we have? Good bone density.
Yeah.
Spine looks good, neck, spine looks okay.
But the next plate confirms their worst fears.
The break is here.
There is a break there.
See, I told you. Yeah, okay, so there is a crack. And what does that do to a person's brain?
Well, obviously there's a huge worry of brain damage. The skull should heal, it's just what damage has been done to the brain.
Okay.
Alison and the team will do their best to look after the youngster until time indicates whether she may recover. It's all they can do.
There is a crack in the skull. It's pretty obvious with major swelling down either side. And, you know, the baby's young. It should recover and heal from it. It's just whether or not there's been brain damage in the meantime. And there's no way of knowing that, really. Ugh. It's really hard because we're gonna all get really invested and involved more than we already are. And we just have to hope that this is gonna work out okay for her.
There's a bit of a chill in the air this morning, but at the Bachelor enclosure, the primate care team are hoping their charges will warm to a prickly treat. They're putting out dozens of hot chestnuts, some still in their outer skin. Chestnuts are an energy-packed snack, full of vitamins and fibre, and a great source of enrichment for the boys to enjoy. Some will have tried the prickly fruit before, but not hot and still in the shell. So, tackling this seasonal treat will be an interesting challenge. Mojo leads the bachelors out. At first, they're pretty calm and relaxed. But when they spot the chestnuts, the hooting and excitement begins. They're not sure what to make of them. It takes Rocky, one of the middle rankers, to show them how it's done. The 31-year-old chimp demonstrates the chestnuts aren't dangerous, just delicious. And the others soon start to follow his lead. Mojo isn't put off by the spiky shells or the heat of the sweet nut inside. He carefully removes the shell with his teeth. Chimps have extremely tough, leathery hands, plus strong teeth and jaws, so tackling these prickly prizes isn't too taxing. High-ranking Butch, who's 37 and one of the elder statesmen of the group, isn't so keen. He settles for the easier option, a hot chestnut already out of the shell. Some of the lower rankers wait in the cold for their turn. Sammy can't believe his luck. He's left with a huge stash all to himself. Jimmy has a good long look before deciding against the prickly option. He's one of the original 9 chimps who arrived from Spain in 1987 and was part of Paddy's mixed-sex group before moving to live with the bachelors. Sammy is also one of the originals. But that status means nothing to his companions as Jester muscles his way in. It's been a calm and peaceful breakfast. With so many nuts available, everyone has tried them. But in chimp society, it doesn't take much to trigger a dispute. Renovations, alterations and upgrades are constantly undertaken at the park. And today, it's the Capuchin Lodge, home to Erico's rowdy group of 13 that requires a bit of TLC. Their energetic bouncing and climbing has taken its toll on the playroom, which now needs a refurb. The primate care team are in the process of giving it a makeover by replacing some of the tired, worn-out fixtures and fittings.
Capuchins are really intelligent, so it's nice that we can mix things up for them a little bit, get them thinking. When the playroom stays the same setup for so long, then they just kind of already know where everything is and it just becomes very straightforward for them. So it's nice to change it around. They have to think about it. Or where does that branch lead? Or they've put something different there. So it's nice just to, it's a bit of enrichment for them, make the day a little bit different.
The team are installing some larger, thicker branches to provide the older members of the group with wider, more stable walkways. But their main concern is making the playroom Erico-proof.
So some of the logs are quite heavy. It's trying to get that balance between making it look good, having some nice thick branches, but also being able to secure it in a way that's safe. And Erico, our dominant male, very strong, very big. He likes to do displays, so we need to make sure that he can do those safely without the branches falling down.
To finish off the new look, the team put out plenty of fresh browse and hidden treats, as well as colourful scented roses. Something different, which the capuchins might like to eat. It's the high rankers, led by Erico and his second-in-command Sean, who try out the revamped playroom first. The rest of the troop remain in the bedrooms until Erico has tested everything out, reassuring the team it can stand up to his boisterous exploits and still be secure. One of 88 Chilean laboratory capuchins who arrived at the park 12 years ago, dominant male Erico was one of the most disturbed. But now, he's leader of this troop, due to the support of the primate care staff. Satisfied he's given everything the once over, he can't resist the smell of roses. Sean is on the hunt for tasty treats. He was number 1 before being deposed by Erico, but now he's content with his new role in the group. As number 2, he gets most of the benefits without the stress of leadership. Cara makes the most of the fresh bay leaf browse. She's one of 3 high-ranking females checking out the new playroom. The other 2 are Phoenix and Becky. And it seems these 2 girls have a liking for fragrant roses. The new playroom has proved to be a hit, but, more importantly, has withstood Erico's energetic test run. Although whether the cameras can survive is a different matter. It's a big day for a little monkey. Lonely cotton-top tamarin Uncas is about to get a new friend and housemate. A female named Mo has just arrived from Longleat Safari Park, and the primate care staff can't wait to meet her.
So today is really exciting. We know she's a bit younger than Uncas, 10 years old. We know she's, normal, sort of parent-reared. She's not expatriate, whereas, of course, Uncas is. So he comes with a few sort of personality quirks that a lot of the expatriate animals develop. But yeah, hopeful she'll be able to deal with Uncas's slight oddities. But he is a nice boy, so we're excited to see what he makes of her.
Although he lives in the marmoset complex and is surrounded by other small, noisy primates, Uncas has been on his own since his partner passed away 18 months ago.
So we can either go in with her and bring her out, or we can post her through one of the hatches into this room, whatever you feel.
To start with, the pair are going to be kept apart to allow Mo to get used to her new surroundings. But they'll be in neighbouring rooms, so the primate care staff can observe how they react to each other through the mesh.
Hey, gorgeous girl. It's okay. Oh, she's got great hair.
As soon as she's released, Mo starts exploring. Uncas is keen to observe the interesting new female who's moved in next door. Weighing in at 628 grams, she's a lot larger than he is, but hopefully size won't matter.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's really, really pretty. She's quite a bit stockier and bigger than he is, and she's got great hair. But yeah, no, she looks really good, really nice.
Mo seems quite at home and not bothered by the noisy neighbours, made up of 5 marmoset families sharing the same house.
All the neighbours want to have a say about what's happening, but she's lived around other marmosets before, so she knows what those noises are. She's not too sort of freaked out by it. We were just going to see how she was, and as long as she seemed fairly settled, go as soon as we feel like we can.
30 minutes later, with everyone calm and collected, Steph decides it's time for Uncas and Mo to meet face to face.
Oh, there you are. Hi. How you feeling, Uncas? What do you think? Right. I've spent the morning lecturing Uncas about being cool. So, we'll see. Remember what we said about being chilled out, Uncas? Right. Let's see.
Uncas wastes no time. He's keen to check out the new lady in his life. But he seems to be taking Steph's advice and being a bit cautious to start with, politely keeping his distance.
My pep talk worked.
There's no trace of hostility between the pair, which is a positive sign.
She is very relaxed with him, isn't she? She's not jumpy or phased at all. It's actually going all right so far. We've not had a lot of contact or anything. They're both kind of just pootling around. She's very interested in exploring her sort of new space. She's been through to his room now. Took her a few minutes. Yeah, Uncas looks sort of happy, but also a little bit confused about who this new lady is. But yeah, certainly nothing hostile, nothing aggressive. He's sort of, I think he's excited, but a little bit taken aback. But yeah, so far it's all nice and calm.
It isn't love at first sight, but the team are optimistic this new match could stand the test of time. One pair of primates at the park considered an established couple are golden-cheeked gibbons Peanut and Pung Yo. They've lived together in their large enclosure for 13 years and have successfully raised 3 children. To keep them interested and active, the care team are constantly adapting and developing new feeding techniques. The enclosure is full of tall, mature trees, perfect for arboreal gibbons. Their natural place is high up in the canopy, and the team use a rope system to deliver their breakfast there. But the pulleys can only be accessed before the pair come out. So today, Sian is trying something a little different she hopes could be used at any time of day.
The gibbons, they like to feed at height, so we've got some pulley feeders that we'll put up, but we've also got some new hoses that they'll have to use their teeth and their fingers to try and get the food out of.
Some of the hoses, stuffed with sweet potato, go into the feeder. But Sian throws others as high as she can into the tree canopy, something that could be done from outside the enclosure at various times of day. Peanut loves her food and is first into the enclosure. She's nearly 20 years old and is the boss of the partnership. She's also proved to be a fantastic mum. Straight away, she heads high to one of the feeders to see what tasty treats are in store. Suspended 30 feet off the ground and hanging from just one arm, she uses the other, plus her teeth, to manipulate the sweet potato-packed hoses. In the wild, gibbons rarely, if ever, come to the ground. Pung Yo demonstrates just how suited they are to life in the treetops when he retrieves some hoses trapped in the small, flimsy branches. Greedy Peanut takes both options. She holds on to one lot of bounty with her feet while snatching another bundle from a feeder, before heading deep into the trees to start devouring her prize. Breakfast for Pung Yo is a more relaxed affair. He's happy just to hang out and snack. It's been a successful morning. Both gibbons have managed to access the sweet potato stuffed into the hoses, and the care team now have an additional way of feeding them high in the canopy where they belong. It's early morning, and at Bart's group, the chimps are up and about, waiting for their daily drinks and supplements before being let outside. But for one chimp, the fresh air and lure of the outdoor climbing apparatus in the enclosure isn't enough to tempt her. Despite the best efforts of the staff and her housemates, female Toprish hasn't been further than the end of the tunnel since she arrived a year ago.
We thought initially that she would just go out of her own accord. We had some lovely moments when some of the other members of the community tried to get her out. We obviously provided different enrichment and things going on in the outside enclosure to tempt her outside, but none of those tactics worked. So we kind of put our heads together, myself and the chimp team, and looked at what we could do using our training techniques.
Good girl.
The team came up with the idea of carefully using a low-powered laser pen. For the past week, they've been teaching Toprish to touch the red target dot.
Good girl.
And then return to the safety of the tunnel or bedroom for a reward. Today, they're hoping to take it one step further.
OK, Jane, we're ready outside.
Hannah gives Jane the all-clear to let the group outside. And they don't need a second invitation.
Good morning, Toprish. You okay?
Toprish ventures to the outdoor tunnel, but that's normally as far as she goes.
Double ups. Come on.
Time for Hannah to put all the week's laser pen training into practice outside.
Stuff. Target. Toprish. Target. Good girl. You're thinking about it, aren't you? Hey? You're thinking about it?
To the team's delight, she continually goes out to touch the red dot before coming back for reassurance.
Good girl. She's nearly there. I think we're nearly there.
Toprish becomes more and more confident with every attempt.
Go on.
She seems to have forgotten accidentally touching the electric fence soon after arrival, which frightened her back indoors.
You're so good.
Then, without any further encouragement, she's off.
Good girl! Super!
It's a huge moment for the team. After months of trying to encourage Toprish outdoors, she's finally made it all the way, overcoming her fears.
She doesn't look nervous. She just looks like she's just sitting, soaking it all up. Seems as though she's been coming out here forever, really, when looking at her just now.
There's no stopping her. She sets off to explore the enclosure, moving cautiously around the poles at first, then taking in the height and sheer scale of everything around her. She gets an enthusiastic greeting from Buster, with the rest of the group seeming unfazed, giving her plenty of time and space. It's up to Bart to give her a tour of the facilities.
He's been following her around, keeping an eye. It almost looks like he's actually kind of leading her around the enclosure and showing her the different elements. So really nice to see, obviously, for Bart and what he's been through, that he's taking on that leadership role, and he's recognising Toprish as a member of her community and just making sure that she's OK.
For the primate care staff, who've shown such patience and dedication over the past year, it's great to see their efforts rewarded.
It's amazing. I'm so excited. And it just shows the power of training. It's such a useful tool to have in the box. In less than a week of us actually using some training with her, she's taken that step, and she's going to get a lot more enjoyment and stimulation out of actually being here. We're so chuffed.
They may still need to encourage Toprish to go out and come back, but her world has opened up. She's a fully integrated member of the group and will be able to enjoy all the enrichment and good things that come with it. Next time on Monkey Life, newly rescued chimp Kalu gets a full medical checkup, but putting her under proves problematic.
Gas. All right, don't shout, please.
Plus, life hangs in the balance for the new baby woolly monkey rejected by her mother. Today on Monkey Life, newly rescued chimp Kalu gets a full medical checkup, but putting her under proves problematic.
Gas. All right, don't shout, please.
Marmosets Chuck and Syd are treated to a crunchy snack, with Syd needing a little help.
Look at it go!
Plus, life hangs in the balance for the new baby woolly monkey, rejected by her mother. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 monkeys and apes from 24 different species. It's been 2 weeks since Alison went to South Africa to rescue female chimp Kalu and fly her 6,000 miles to start a new life at Monkey World in Dorset. And she's settling in well.
I'm really pleased with her progress. She seems to be a very sort of self-contained lady in terms of her emotions and sort of just taking everything in her stride. So at least 35 years old, if not older, I would have expected her to be a little more out of sorts than she was. So really happy with her progress over the last 2 weeks.
Kalu's dramatic rescue was fraught with problems. She had to be sedated by Dart and climbed a tree before the anaesthetic could take full effect, falling 30 feet to the ground. Wildlife vet John Lewis, who accompanied Alison along with animal director Jeremy, rushed to the chimp's aid and checked her over.
Good pulse in there.
He was unable to do a full examination due to limited facilities. But with no obvious injuries or concerns, he gave the all-clear for Kalu to travel. While in South Africa, John took blood samples. Now the results are in, and they're not good.
What we found is that she had really, really high blood glucose. That means sugar in her blood, which is an indicator of diabetes. And indeed, it would appear that Kalu is profoundly diabetic.
Alison is hopeful it's not the more serious type 1 diabetes. It's likely to be type 2, which means changing to a good, healthy diet and avoiding the high sugar and processed foods Kalu was previously being given, plus plenty of exercise, should help manage the condition. Today, vet John has arrived at the park to give Kalu a thorough health check.
We have a treatment plan, whatever the case might be, but today's really important to find out exactly which direction we need to head with her.
Aware Kalu would need to be sedated again, the team have spent the last 2 weeks training her. It's a far cry from the situation 2 weeks ago in Cape Town. The result is a testament to the trust she's already developed with the primate care staff.
Lisa's been able to hand inject her, so she's been trained and become accustomed to that in an incredibly short period of time. But it means that when we come to anaesthetise, we don't have to use darts. I don't have to show my face and upset them and so on. So the whole process is a lot calmer.
Once John's satisfied Kalu is stable, she's transferred to a travel crate and taken quickly to the park's hospital. There, the team take the opportunity to weigh her.
41.5.
Very good.
She's put on weight, which is a good sign the new diet is working. Once on the table, John intubates her to keep her airways clear and keep her anaesthetised. But during the procedure, she wakes up with a start.
Okay, gas. All right, don't shout, please.
Not once, but twice.
No, she won't get. Gas her down. What we're going to do now is not gas her down anymore.
John decides the best option is to knock Kalu out with intravenous ketamine. Once he's satisfied she's stable, he can get to work. First, he takes some blood samples to compare with the ones he took in South Africa a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, somebody like to press down on their heart. Lovely.
Next, a few x-rays. John wants to be sure Kalu didn't sustain any serious, lasting injuries when she fell during the rescue. Then, he takes a look at Kalu's teeth.
So starting on the lower right.
The team have been aware since she arrived that she has urgent dental issues, and on examination, it's far worse than they expected.
And Fragments of root showing above the gum only.
A number of teeth are rotten and will have to come out today.
So we've got some dental work to do.
4?
At least so far. We can start taking things out.
John is careful as he works his way through the decayed teeth. They have huge roots and need to come out in one piece.
I'm just trying to get the worst one out of this mess at the upper right, and it is a mess.
The majority are so rotten, they come out easily.
Like that. So that's the last upper left molar.
When he finally extracts tooth number 6, John calls it a day.
Right, that's the worst of it. So that is the upper right molar 1.
Kalu's been under for quite some time, and although there's still work to be done inside the chimp's mouth, John has extracted the worst offenders.
They're all a bit mobile. That one, this one.
More treatment may be needed, but that's enough for today. Before Kalu's brought round, Lisa takes her blood glucose level to compare with the reading taken a fortnight ago. And it's good news. It's dropped significantly, which means her new diet is working. John is happy with today's examination and progress.
She had a lot of dental problems, and we've resolved the worst of them, which are basically molars and premolars, the cheek teeth, the back teeth, so rotten that they're sitting in a sea of infected material. So we've taken those out, and once the gums heal over, she'll feel a lot more comfortable about that, which is good. We know her blood glucose levels, which were very high when she came in, have almost halved. They're not normal yet, they're not down to that level yet, but they're improving. So all in all, I think it's quite positive for Kalu.
Kalu is taken back to her bedroom, where she can be monitored until she fully comes round. She'll be given antibiotics and pain relief for a few days, and the team will continue the good work done so far with her dietary management. Insects make up a vital part of the diet of many of the park's primates, particularly the small monkeys. Today, common marmosets Syd and Chuck are in for a treat, which will test their coordination, speed and agility, and encourage them to hunt as they would in the wild.
Hi, Chuck. Hi, Chuck.
Primate care member Karen has a number of giant locusts, which she's about to put in their outside enclosure.
Sometimes we get donations of the really big locusts like this, but also when we get the smaller ones in, we've been feeding them up to try and get them nice and big. Obviously they move around more, it gives the animals more to do, more enrichment, and obviously they're a bigger treat as well, so it's nice for them.
Insects are high in energy and provide an important source of calcium and other nutrients. With more than 2/3 of Monkey World's primates consuming them as part of their daily diet, the team have had to start keeping them in large numbers to keep up with consumption.
I think they're going to love these. We're going to just see how well Sydney does, because obviously her mobility is a little sketchy sometimes, so Chuck might get all of them, which I'm sure he will love very much, but hopefully Sydney will surprise us and she'll manage to get around and get some as well.
Chuck is first out, but doesn't spot the locust straight away, only the fixed cameras. The large insects are on the move, heading for the undergrowth. But out of the corner of his eye, Chuck spots movement. And pounces. He gets a locust in his grasp, but the trick is to keep hold of it. Marmosets have expert hand-eye coordination, and he's soon tucking into the tasty treat with relish.
Oh, crunchy leg.
Syd is yet to join in. Both marmosets were rescued from the pet trade in the UK, but there the similarities end.
They are very different when you look at them, and again that's probably because of their history. Chuck He's very well cared for to the best of his ex-owner's ability. He's a very healthy animal. She gave him the right supplement. She really did try her very best with him. Sydney, on the other hand, is actually quite stunted. She's a small animal, so that's probably just due to lack of nutrition when she was younger. And also she's got bowed limbs. And that's probably because of, again, the wrong nutrition when she was younger, so not enough calcium and vitamin D3, so her bones just simply didn't grow in the right way, and they've grown in this kind of bowed fashion.
With Chuck gorging himself on as many locusts as he can catch, poor old Syd hasn't quite cottoned on to the opportunity. Karen gives her a helping hand.
Look at her go!
So that's what it's all about. Chuck may have had the leaping locusts to himself for most of the morning. But now she's in the know, Syd makes sure she won't be sharing her prize with anyone. There's been tragic news for everyone at the park this morning. The 2-day-old baby woolly monkey, rejected by her mum Isla, has died. The infant, who suffered severe injuries soon after birth, had multiple seizures overnight, and Alison made the difficult decision to put her to sleep. It's a blow to the team at Monkey World, and comes at a time when the captive population of woolly monkeys around the world is under threat.
Sadly, in almost all zoos and wildlife parks, they have died off. So if there's anything that we can do here as a fellow rescue centre at Monkey World in order to try and work out the very best way to keep them healthy, that's where I feel our role is. We're not here to be breeding woolly monkeys for exhibition. The main priority is to learn enough about them so that we can assist those in situ so that they provide a future for individuals that are confiscated from the black market trade in country. So eventually that will come to an end. The woolly monkeys, I can't foresee surviving on into the future, even at Monkey World, because genetically, the pool's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
There are 22 woolly monkeys at the park, made up of 3 groups, and managing them is like a massive jigsaw puzzle. One of the main difficulties is that there are far more males than females. And while the males on the whole are happy to live together, when it comes to breeding, the park's genetic pool limits their options. That's why individuals within the group are being constantly moved around.
These are all of our woolly monkeys, and between the green, the blue, and the red group, we can mix and match to try and come up with the best solution for those social dynamics, while at the same time making sure that we're not putting any sons with their mothers who might go on to breed. It's a delicate balance. At this point in time, we have just an overwhelming number of boys, and as those boys grow up, they're motivated to sort of challenge to rise to the top. So there's a fair amount of woolly monkey work to be done in my head now.
The park's success at caring for woolly monkeys means it's the first port of call for other centres elsewhere in the world who need help. Today, Alison is finalising a mission to a zoo in Holland who need to rehome a 10-year-old female woolly monkey called Pichua. She's living on her own following the recent death of her mate. Pichua is one of the last reproductive females left in captivity outside Monkey World. To make things a little more complicated, Alison has checked, and Pichua is the daughter of Chippy, one of the dominant males at the park. This narrows down the options of which group she can join, although there are plenty of other males looking for a female.
Everybody's in agreement because we're the last place to be breeding females now. So she's seen quite a few woolly monkeys come and go in her lifetime. I'm just hoping that we can provide her with a stable and good future here at the park.
So big changes are afoot for the park's woolies in the coming weeks, in order to protect one of the world's most vulnerable primate species. In a lovely tree-filled enclosure at the centre of the park, contented couples Sam and Sasak are enjoying life. The Siamang gibbon pair have been together for 9 years and are devoted to each other. Their enclosure is full of natural planting, with large mature trees providing a perfect canopy for these arboreal primates. This morning's breakfast, delivered by primate care staff member Sean, aims to encourage them to forage with purpose, just as they do in the wild. She's cut up slices of pear, putting them into giant pine cones and suspending them high up in the tree canopy. If they want to sample the treat, they'll have to work for it.
The gibbons aren't as dexterous as us humans, so because they're so long fingers and a small thumb, they tend to scoop because they're used to hooking onto branches. So it might be quite a challenge for them, but Sasak really loves her food, so I'm sure she'll give it her best shot, definitely.
True to form, Sasak is first out, and scenting the fruit, she heads straight into the treetops. Sam hangs out to weigh up his options. At first, the hungry female is perplexed by the pine cones. But once she realises they're stuffed with slices of pear, she makes a determined effort using her teeth and reaching and stretching to pick out the pieces of fruit. Leaving his mate searching for more accessible food, Sam heads up higher towards the more difficult to reach pine cones, suspended from a pulley feeder. It's not the easy option. The cones are tantalisingly just out of reach. At full stretch, he grabs hold of the feeder, but with the pine cone in his grasp, can't work out his next step. Frustrated, Sam heads further down in search of less problematic pickings. Sasak doesn't give up so easily. Hanging from a tree, with all her weight supported by just one arm, she shows Sam how it's done. Siamangs are the largest of all the gibbon species and have the loudest call of any primate, reaching up to 90 decibels. Although today, they're more interested in food than singing. Unlike some other gibbon species, it's often hard to distinguish between male and female Siamangs.
Gibbons are actually lesser apes, so just like us humans and the other great apes, they don't have tails. But one of the main ways that you can tell the males and females apart is that the males actually have a scrotal tuft that can often get mistaken as a tail.
Sam and Sasak also have quite distinctive facial features, making it easier to tell them apart. For a female, Sasak is quite large, but then she does enjoy her food. With breakfast consumed, the loved-up pair head off into the trees, where there's plenty of fresh browse to keep them occupied for the rest of the day. For the past 30 years, the park has endeavoured to rescue as many primates in need as possible. Most have been victims of the pet trade, brought in from the UK and around the world. With space at a premium, Monkey World rarely breeds any of the monkeys or apes. The exceptions are the woolly monkeys and Bengal slow loris. And very occasionally, for social reasons, the chimps. But birth control accidents do happen, and sometimes an unplanned infant arrives. At Bart's group of chimps, the primate care team are wondering if that could be happening soon.
Good girl.
Chimp Kathy may be pregnant.
It doesn't feel like it's just a fat belly, and because of the complete shape of her, she's slim everywhere else, and she's just got this big belly, so it really does look like she's at the latter stages of pregnancy. So we're keeping a close eye on her. We've started giving her pronatal, a supplement for pregnant women. We're also giving her an extra milk drink each day just to give her a few extra calories. But as you can see, she's very keen to show us her belly as well. So the other thing that kind of clinched it for us, thinking that she is pregnant, is we've seen a bit of a personality change in her, because Kathy was always one who was quite standoffish with the staff, whereas now she's very, very keen to come and show us her belly. And there's been times when she's been quite playful as well, which is quite unusual for her. So, you're a good girl.
The team have already done a pregnancy test, which proved positive. However, a subsequent test showed negative, so they can't be 100% certain a baby is on the way. It's not the first time Kathy will have given birth at the park. 15 years ago, she delivered Ash into the world. She cared for the baby for the first few days, but then put her down and left her.
It's not cold, actually.
As a result, Ash had to be hand-reared. The father then was Paddy. The father now would be his son, Bart.
Young Bart will be first-time dad. None of us have seen him showing any interest in her, which is why it was a big surprise for us, as well as her being on the pill. Yeah, and so now he might be a dad soon, eh, Kath? You like toy boys, eh?
Kathy is 38 years old, and if she is pregnant, will be an older mum. She's a fairly high-ranking female within the group, so should get plenty of help and support from the others.
If she does give birth and she looks after the baby, it's the best enrichment we can do for her. It's encouraging all sorts of natural behaviour. It's also great for the rest of the group. It's great for social interaction. So it's not a disaster that she's had an accident or we've had an accident.
You don't have to look far for a perfect example of the positive effect a new youngster can have. The last chimp to be born at the park was Thelma, 6 years ago. And although she's growing up fast, her arrival brought her Nanya's troop closer together. They're now a more relaxed and tight-knit family than ever. The team are hoping if Kathy does give birth to a healthy baby and looks after it, the youngster will have the same effect on Bart's group. Next time on Monkey Life. Young male orangutan Jin, who was born at the park, is moving on and makes his feelings known.
You're all right, mister. Just calm down.
Plus, Chimp Kalu makes her first friends. Today on Monkey Life, young male orangutan Jin, who was born at the park, is moving on and makes his feelings known.
You're all right, mister. Just calm down.
The team try an unusual remedy to fix woolly monkey Cosmo's digestive problems. And the treatment...
Yummy. He seems to be enjoying it.
...goes down a treat. Plus, Chimp Kalu makes her first friend. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
I can't keep her in, get her in. Okay, got it.
The park provides a home for more than 260 monkeys and apes from 24 different species. It's going to be an emotional day for the team at Monkey World. 10-year-old orangutan Jin is leaving to start a new life at a wildlife centre in Kent.
One of our boys is graduating today, so he's heading off to Wingham Wildlife Park to become the man. Jin's gonna get a new partner, Molly, and in a new fabulous huge house at Wingham. So really pleased for him. I mean, it's always sort of a bit heart-wrenching to wave goodbye to somebody, but we know that he's gonna like have a really lovely place to live and be with a lady where he can do his thing and become a man, because right now the competition in the nursery with Sylvester is just too much.
It's been apparent for some time that one of the 2 young adult males in the nursery group was going to have to move on. The boisterous play sessions between Jin and Sylvester had become testosterone-fueled and competitive, leading to some minor injuries. The decision was taken to find a new grown-up home for Jin, and today the young male who was born at the park is leaving for Kent to meet Molly and start his own group. The team have been carefully planning the move for the last few weeks. Jin has been receiving regular training to encourage him into his travel crate for the journey. The drive from Dorset to his new home will take a few hours, and the team are anxious to make it as stress-free as possible. With everything set, Jarno calls Jin through.
Hello. Come on then. Ready? Come here. Hey, buddy.
The training has paid off.
Set. Good boy. Here, mate. Doing really, really well, man. It's so calm at the minute. It's just try to make him even more relaxed. Hey, buddy.
Once Jarno is satisfied Jin is calm and relaxed, the team get to work.
Fine. Okay.
Securing the crate for the journey, and moving the forklift into place, ready to transfer the box into the back of the van, which will take Jin to Kent. But the young orangutan works out something is different. In training, he was always let out of the crate. Agitated, he begins banging on the sides of the box.
He's not happy with what's going on, but, you know, this is always the really sort of sad bit where you wish you could explain to them what's going on. It's going to be fabulous once he gets there, but he's going to have 3 to 4 hours where he's not a happy camper.
The maintenance team are well drilled in moving large primates around, and it doesn't take long for Jin to be loaded up. Although he's still letting everyone know he's not happy.
You're all right, mister. Just calm down.
Jin has spent his entire life at the park and has grown up with many of the keepers. It's going to be tough to wave him goodbye.
Okay. See you soon. Yeah. Look after our boy. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. We all love him to bits. This is going to be a very sad day for everybody here. But, you know, it's part of the process. It's like the kids going off to uni. And this is time for Jin to spread his wings and become the man of his group.
2 of the Monkey World team will follow on to help Jin settle into his new life. But as he heads off to a bright new future, he makes sure he has the last word. Many of the primates at the park enjoy large, open-topped, tree-filled enclosures where they can live as natural a life as possible. However, this can sometimes lead to problems. Occasionally, the monkeys and apes pick up parasites or bugs that live in the ground, or are transported by local wildlife. The care team carefully manage and monitor the health of their charges, but there is one youngster who seems to struggle, and that's Cosmo.
So Cosmo goes up and down. He often has diarrhea, quite loose feces, which then has an impact on his condition. So then he gets quite scrawny looking, his coat's quite under conditions. The woolly monkeys we do check slightly often because they do come back with a few different parasites, so we just keep a close eye on the woolly monkeys.
Cosmo was hand-reared from birth after Mum Isla rejected him. He's now 3 years old and has had a few health issues in his short life. Last year, he suffered a number of seizures, which now appear to be under control, but he's always had trouble with his digestion. The staff have altered his diet, and he's even had a course of probiotics, but he still suffers the occasional bout of diarrhea. After much research, the vet team have decided to try a treatment sometimes used to treat humans with gut problems, to see if it helps Cosmo long term. A fecal transplant. The aim is to help the natural bacteria in Cosmo's gut to perform better by introducing good gut bacteria from elsewhere. They're hoping to be able to do this by collecting it from another healthy woolly monkey thriving at the barn woolies.
We're hoping to get a fresh sample of faeces from one of the members of the group here to test that, making sure there's no parasites, anything untoward in it. And then we're hoping to then feed it to a small amount to Cosmo.
Once in his system, it'll hopefully provide a base from which all the beneficial gut flora can grow. It's a bit of a waiting game, but eventually Claire manages to obtain a poo sample. Then it's a race against the clock to get it back to the hospital to be tested to make sure there are no parasites. If the procedure is going to work, it needs to be completed within an hour, from the time the sample was produced to Cosmo ingesting it.
So we've got a fresh sample that's about 10 minutes old. So I'm going to use a snap test to test for Giardia. I'll do a fecal smear to test under the microscope and flotation as well. Any eggs, parasite eggs, float in a salt sugar solution. So then we'll be able to see if there is anything in it.
Giardia is a microscopic parasite that causes diarrhea. It's found in soil, food or water that has been contaminated with faeces from infected animals. Although the woolies have been known to pick it up, today the sample is clear.
This is negative, so it's no Giardia.
And the other 2 tests are negative as well.
All good to go. Yeah, nothing obvious seen, so we're good to give it to Cosmo.
Claire heads straight over to Lavar's group of woolies, where primate care member Kate is waiting. A small amount of the sample is mixed in with one of Cosmo's favourite treats, plain yoghurt, to encourage him to eat it.
We're going to go simple and just see if he'll take it in this yoghurt. He does really enjoy it, so let's hope that he'll take it, and we'll see. Hi, Cosmo. What have we got for you? You can sit here. You take it there. Oh. Yummy. He seems to be enjoying it. Okay, all gone. Good boy. So now we'll just wait, we'll monitor all his faeces closely, and then we'll just have to see if it makes a difference in him and helps him out.
The team are hopeful this unusual method will improve Cosmo's health and be a long-term benefit for the youngster. At Bart's chimpanzee group, one of the oldest primates at the park, 41-year-old Cindy, is recovering from an ordeal. It began a few days ago when staff noticed that what started as a small lump on the right-hand side of Cindy's face was getting bigger.
Well, she's had what we think has been an abscess, and it's gradually got bigger and bigger. And a couple of days ago, the whole side of her face was swelling up.
She was put on a course of antibiotics, but the drugs appeared to have little effect.
Yesterday morning, the swelling had moved above her lower jaw. It was going across the top of her muzzle on her right side, and her eye had started to close.
The team contacted wildlife vet John Lewis for advice. He recommended a stronger antibiotic. But when they arrived this morning, they discovered the abscess had burst.
It sounds horrible that it's burst, and it doesn't look very nice either, but that's actually better. That's a better prognosis for Cindy, because now that the build-up of pus in there, it's drained out now, so it's not putting pressure on her. So part of the pain will have been the pressure of the buildup of fluid in the lump. So now that that pressure's been taken away, hopefully that's given us some relief. But now we have the exit wound to worry about, so we need to keep that clean and just keep an eye on it.
It's imperative Cindy continues with a course of strong antibiotics. Not only will they help clear out the abscess, but should also stop any reinfection from what is quite a large exit wound.
So we're doing this 3 times a day, so it's quite a long process for us all. But it's really important that we get this into Cindy to stop this infection spreading.
Cindy!
Cindy is definitely in discomfort. The team have mixed the drug in with orange juice to disguise the taste, after discovering she wasn't a fan when it was first prescribed. No problem this time, and as the highest-ranking female in the group, none of the other chimps try and muscle in for a share of what looks like a treat for Cindy.
What a clip ago.
Hannah isn't sure what caused the abscess in the first place. A swab of the infected area may help, and also identify which bacteria are present, so they can give her the right antibiotic.
Can I see this?
This is when all the training staff put in with the primates pays off. The abscess is obviously very painful, and it does take a couple of attempts, partly due to a bit of interference from Bart. But Cindy lets Hannah take a swab.
Good girl. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hannah's final task is to flush out the wound with warm saline to try and keep it clean, a task that needs to be performed regularly.
Oh, good girl.
She was really good then. Bart was not keen on me doing the swab, but he's just protecting her. He was worried that I was doing something horrible to her, so he was a bit grabby. But in the end, we managed to distract him, and she was really good. I actually managed to get the swab in the exit wound. It's starting to close up a bit now. I can't see a big open wound like I could this morning, so that's good. She still is pushing gunk out of it, but that's a good thing. We want it all out. And she also let me flush a little bit of warm saline on there, so if I can do that frequently, then hopefully it's going to keep it clean and stop any sort of infection building up in there again. So, yeah, she did really well there, because it must be really sore, so I'm really impressed with how cooperative she's been.
It may take a few days, but the cleaning regime and antibiotics should clear up the infection. It looks like Cindy's on the mend. It's a big day for the park's newest arrival. Female chimp Kalu has spent the last 9 days getting used to her new surroundings in the comfort of her own individual bedroom. But she's been able to watch and interact with the 5 members of Brian's group on the opposite side of the mesh. If things go to plan, she'll soon be joining them and become part of their troop.
We've been doing some side-by-side introductions through the mesh with both Lulu and mostly Naree. And it's been pretty good, actually, getting to the point of almost boredom now. So it's only 1 week on, but we think it's time to try opening the door and see what's going to happen. So it's Naree, and we just have to hope. Naree's more playful with her at the mesh, but then sometimes that can turn into a clash of personalities, so we'll have to see. But I think it's time for Kalu to take the next step, because just sitting in here in the back bedrooms watching the other chimps, it's allowing her to be a bit lazy. So it's time to take that next move. Just hope you're going to be nice, huh?
Kalu had been kept as a pet at a ranch in South Africa after being stolen from the wild. When her owner died and no one could be found to rehome her, Alison stepped in. Kalu hasn't come face to face with another chimp for at least 35 years, so it's not surprising she's cautious. Naree is also a relative newcomer to the park. She was rescued from Thailand just 16 months ago, but has taken everything in her stride since, and is now an easygoing, playful member of the group. She seems very keen to make friends with Kalu, and after hanging back for a few minutes, greets her in a friendly fashion. Kalu responds in kind, and even starts to tentatively groom Naree. The pair soon become involved in a friendly play session. Amazing to see that an aging chimp who's been lacking companionship of her own kind for so long seems so relaxed in another chimp's company.
Really pleased how well this has gone so far, and now we just have to strike a balance. Kalu's not very fit, so she's going to get tired, probably ending on a good note and then letting them go again tomorrow is a good thing. And then we can also try Lulu. What's just nice to see, I suppose, is that she hasn't lashed out with anger in terms of somebody coming into her room, and she seems to be enjoying playing with Naree. So we just have to see what happens when those little spats break out. But so far so good, and actually really calm. Couldn't be more pleased. Oh.
It's a very positive new beginning for Kalu, and the team are hopeful she'll receive the same friendly reception from the rest of Brian's group. The team at Monkey World are experts at rising to the occasion and dealing with the unexpected, particularly when it comes to hand-rearing newborns rejected by their mums. But 9 months ago, they were faced with a situation they'd never handled before: looking after a newborn baby loris. Fast forward to today, and Bobbi Dazzler, as she's now known, is a healthy and rather fluffy juvenile Bengal slow loris. And she's become a permanent resident of the park's loris complex, spending most of her days in the company of another female, Nora. Nora was rescued from Lebanon 18 months ago and was also hand-reared. Despite both being female, the two are getting on well.
As time's gone on, we've seen some really nice sort of grooming, and we've seen some play behaviour. Nora has been a little bit too overexcited at the start because she was so desperate to play with Bobbi, so it's taken a while for Bobbi to kind of figure out what she's doing there. But aside from that, it's actually going really well, and it's just fantastic to see this little baby who wasn't reared by her mum interacting and having a relationship with another loris.
Introducing Bobbi to the sights, sounds and smells of other lorises at the earliest opportunity was vital for her future development.
She's picked up the vocalisations straight away. I think hearing some of the other loris, like sort of clicking and making noises in the house, has kind of helped Bobbi find her own sort of voice. And yeah, you know, they are both females, so they might not end up spending the whole of their lives together. We might eventually pair them up with males at some point. But the fact that they're youngsters that are getting to spend time together, socialise with another loris, will set them up really well for if they then become part of the breeding programme.
Today, the pair are getting a highly scented floral treat: fresh-cut honeysuckle and buddleia flowers. Lorises have a good sense of smell, and in the wild have been known to eat nectar from some plants. The team are keen to see how the two girls will react.
Anything we put into their rooms that changes the environment a little bit is great. Anything that gets them active and investigating stuff. So I'm hoping that that's what will happen today. It's something different, something maybe a little bit exciting. But yeah, we'll see if the girls enjoy it or not. You ready, guys?
Lorises are nocturnal primates, and the inside of their complex is designed to mimic their natural habitat. Bobbi and Nora don't disappoint, and are immediately curious to explore something new. Although, in true loris style, it's not a mad dash. Nora shows what an amazing and powerful grip lorises possess when she gets excited and playful. She supports her own body weight, and then reaches down to bite one of the branches. Lorises have extremely sharp teeth that come with a dangerous toxic bite. Tree gum is an important part of their diet, and they love to eat it, gouging it out from the bark with their teeth. It's Bobbi and Nora's meal of choice today, rather than the scented flowers Steph provided. Little is known about loris husbandry, so life at the loris house is one big learning curve for its residents and their carers.
It's been fascinating for the staff to watch because they're so different to all of our other primates. They're so unusual. It's been a really kind of fascinating learning process, sort of seeing how they work and how they work together.
It's still early days in Nora and Bobbi Dazzler's development, but considering their difficult start in life, it's encouraging to see they're heading in the right direction. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison's in the Netherlands to collect a lonely female woolly monkey who's lost her mate and needs companionship.
She's sort of outside looking a little bit skeptical, strange person sort of making woolly monkey calls.
And the Stumpies trial their playroom revamp, with Sylvie reaching new heights. Today on Monkey Life. Alison's in the Netherlands to collect a lonely female woolly monkey who's lost her mate and needs companionship.
She's sort of outside looking a little bit skeptical, strange person sort of making woolly monkey calls.
Elderly Saki monkey Chloe has a tricky dental problem.
It's a really, really caudal tooth and her little mouth doesn't open very far, so it's going to be really difficult to get out.
And the Stumpies trial their playroom revamp, with Sylvie reaching new heights. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Everybody's well aware that they need to be looked after carefully. They should be okay.
The park provides a home for more than 260 monkeys and apes from 24 different species. Following an early morning start and a trip across the channel, Alison has arrived at Gaia Zoo in the south of the Netherlands. She's come to pick up a female woolly monkey called Pichua and take her back to join one of the woolly groups in Dorset.
I'm Alison.
I'm Mas. Had a good drive?
Yeah, not bad. We went down to Folkestone, the entrance to the channel last night.
Okay.
So cuts it almost in half.
She's met by Boss, the zoo manager at Gaia. It's a large wildlife park housing and caring for more than 150 different species, including a number of New World monkeys.
35 or 40.
Alison is keen to see Pichua in her home environment.
How you doing?
She's 10 years old and one of the few remaining reproductive females in captivity outside South America, the primate's natural home.
So this is the woolly monkey enclosure, so it's this island and that island over there.
Pichua was born in France, but her mother died when she was only 14 months old. Her dad, however, is alive and well and living at Monkey World. It's dominant male Chippy. Pichua's mate passed away a few weeks ago.
The male died, but he had some heart problems as well.
So the European breeding programme for woolly monkeys and the zoo made contact with Alison to see if she could help.
Really nice to finally lay eyes on Pichua in the flesh. She's sort of outside looking a little bit skeptical, strange person sort of making woolly monkey calls. But really lovely enclosure and house, and now we're just trying to gather as much information as we can about her daily routines, and I think we'll try and catch up with the keepers now, so.
Pichua has been living at the wildlife park for the last 5 years, and her keepers are able to give Alison a full rundown on her health and diet.
Okay, so she hasn't been too long. Is she okay? Been okay on her own?
Yeah.
Yes, but...
In the beginning she was, I think, a little upset, but now she's doing really well, so...
Okay.
As well as details of her character and personality.
She's really nice, easy to work with, and sometimes she will scream when it's not happened what she wants, but I'm glad that she can go to you because she is alone, and no monkey has to be alone because they are very social. So I'm glad for her that she can go to the other woolly monkeys.
Alison spends some time checking out Pichua's indoor facilities. Tomorrow will be the challenging task of getting her into a travel box, ready for the trip back to Dorset.
The keepers have been working really hard to get her to sort of walk into a part of the tunnel where they can then decant her into the box. So fingers crossed for tomorrow that she doesn't get suspicious, because otherwise it means the vet's gonna have to come in and anesthetize her. So we'll hang back tomorrow morning, let the keepers try and catch her up, while at the same time we want to get out of here as soon as possible to try and get back to the park before it gets dark in England. So we'll have to see how we go, fingers crossed.
Everything is set for another early start tomorrow. Pichua is unaware that life, as she knows it, is about to change dramatically. The strong winds and heavy rain over the winter have abated, and the weather in Dorset has improved. The warmer days have encouraged the primates to start spending more time outside, giving the staff the opportunity to do some renovation work inside their houses. One group who've certainly put their indoor space to the test are the stump-tailed macaques, known as the Stumpies. Although not always the most active group, they can be brash and boisterous, and their activities have left the playroom a little worn and in need of TLC. The team have added new climbing structures with lots of branches to hang things from, and more walkways linking everything together. It's all designed to keep the group active and give those who need it help with their mobility. Leader Sam is first on the scene. At 33 years old, he's content to forage on the ground for any hidden treats amongst the straw bedding. The dominant female in the group, Kelly, follows Sam's lead. In the wild, Stumpies spend a lot of time on the ground foraging and travelling from one food source to another. But they also climb, and the team like to encourage this group to be more active. 28-year-old Noreen demonstrates how it's done. Many of the group of 8 were rescued from laboratories, and it's a constant battle for the care team to keep their weight under control. Stumpies will eat almost anything and need careful dietary management. Keeping active helps, and Sylvie doesn't disappoint. She's 22 and the youngest in the group. She's also the most nimble and agile and greets the new playroom layout with real enthusiasm. Showing off her full repertoire of stretching, balancing, and jumping, hoarding food in her cheek pouches as she goes. Following her example, some of the others join in. Charlie hangs from the mesh, trying to grab some food from a suspended barrel, while higher-ranking Noreen climbs up and pushes Sylvie out of the way to grab whatever's left. It seems the playroom renovations are a hit all round, with the normally sedate Stumpies. It's the crack of dawn at Gaia Zoo in the Netherlands, and Alison is on standby while local keepers attempt to get woolly monkey Pichua into position, ready to be put into her travel box.
We get to wait outside until we get the thumbs up that she's gone where she needs to be. Otherwise, we're all gonna have to wait around for quite a bit longer for the vet to turn up to give Pichua an anesthetic, and nobody wants that. So we're all hopeful that the early morning start is gonna work. It's gonna be nicer for her and get us back to the park in daylight so that she can see her new surroundings and her new home alongside of her dad.
It's good news. Pichua is safely in the tunnel, ready to be transferred, and Alison can head on over. 10-year-old female Pichua lost her mate a few weeks ago and is in desperate need of companionship of her own kind. Woolly monkeys are prone to stress and anxiety, so it's vital the team get her into a travel box without the need for anaesthetic, particularly with the long journey back to Dorset ahead of her.
Oh, that was so nerve-wracking. Because, yeah.
No, I know, a lot, riding on her.
Yeah, I was like, please just go in and be calm, and she's calm. So, yeah, she knows now. Now she's a little bit, but whew, we were all like, please just let it go well, because, yeah, okay. So.
Relief all round. And time to get the crate ready. Alison double-checks all the paperwork is correct before accompanying the local team into the woolly monkey's bedroom area.
We've given her this morning a 5-milligram diazepam, and she had one last night to keep her calm.
Pichua has been given a light sedative to relax her for the journey, with positive results.
Really calm and nice. So, you know, she trilled hello to me, and yeah, I think she's gonna go okay.
Happy she'll have a relaxed and stress-free woolly monkey to transport, Alison waits outside while the keepers load her into her box. It doesn't take long. Alison is keen to get on the road and back to Dorset while it's still light. But there's just time for Pichua's keepers to say their final goodbyes.
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna miss
Yes.
her.
But we know she gets it
Yeah.
good. She got a good life.
We now got about 7.5, 8 hours to go, but Pichua thing seems really good in the box and really calm, so yeah, shouldn't be too bad. I think everybody's a bit emotional here.
It's a sad day for the Dutch team who've looked after and loved Pichua. But they know she's heading for a bright future with companionship of her own kind. It's a perfect morning at the park, and the primates are making the most of the sunny weather. And taking advantage of the new growth appearing all round. The family of Gwenons, Benny, Nia and daughter Biff, love nothing better than munching on fresh leaves. Today they've been given a bounty of willow browse, with tasty young buds for them to forage through, providing plenty of fibre and nutrients. Biff is fast approaching her first birthday and is constantly learning from her mum and dad. She's full of energy, always bouncing around, and is clearly partial to the furry catkins on offer this morning. She has a great relationship with mum Nia and has begun to try out her grooming skills, important for establishing strong connections in all primate groups.
They've got a really strong mother-daughter bond. In Gwenons, males are actually on the periphery of the group, so it's quite natural for Biff to spend a lot more time with mum. So we do see them spend a lot of time grooming, playing, but at the same time, Nia will put her foot down if Biff is misbehaving, because she's quite a strong character. So she does she's beginning to push her limits a little bit now. So yeah, mum is certainly putting her foot down when she's getting a little bit too cheeky.
Biff may not be the centre of attention for much longer, staff have noticed Benny and Nia are growing close once more and are hoping it could herald a new playmate for their daughter.
We'd be quite happy to have another addition to that group, just to, again, create a bit more of a family environment, maybe a little boy for Benny to hang out with.
Benny has grown into a more relaxed and confident male since arriving at the park 2 years ago.
He's in absolute perfect physical condition. He is just an extremely handsome boy. His confidence with the keepers has just come leaps and bounds. We're starting to try and do a lot more training with him now. So yeah, he's got just a really nice chap.
Living with the Gwenons are Patus monkey Meetzer and aging ring-tailed lemur George, otherwise known as the Odd Couple. At age 28, Meetzer is getting on in years and can be quite serious. She spends a lot of her time making sure George is safe and happy, especially when Biff is up to mischief. The enclosure has been designed with all the group in mind. There's plenty to keep the Gwenons active up high and enough space for Meetzer and George to have time for themselves. Although what they might make of another baby Gwenon remains to be seen. Across the park, elderly Saki monkey Chloe has a problem. In the last few days, staff have noticed a small lump on her lower jaw. It could be due to a dental issue, so they've called in local vet Holly Asquith Barnes to take a look. Since arriving at the park in 2018, Chloe hasn't experienced any problems with her teeth. At 27 years old, she's elderly for a Saki, but still fit and healthy and enjoys a good diet.
Sakis actually have quite sort of strong teeth. They need them because nuts actually form quite a big part of their diet, so they need great big long teeth to get into the nutshells to get the nuts. It's actually quite hard to tell sort of particularly lower teeth and back teeth. It's very difficult to get a good look inside the mouth. So you don't tend to kind of be aware of any problems until you see sort of the animals stopping to eat and being selective over the types of food they eat. With Chloe, we didn't really notice any change until we saw this lump sort of appearing. So it's going to be interesting to see what we find when we have a look in there.
At the park's hospital, the vet team are getting ready.
Have you got her most up-to-date weight?
Yes.
Cool.
Chloe arrives in a travel box, and animal director Jeremy manages to safely take hold of her so she can be anaesthetised using just gas.
It's always a bit anxious watching these guys, particularly Chloe's 27, so she's an older lady, which always adds that little bit of extra risk factor. So yeah, all we can do is sort of watch anxiously.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Once under, Chloe is intubated, and vet Holly starts her examination.
She's got one horrible one, just there. Oh yeah. I think it's probably at the back. That one. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look that bad, to be honest, but it's a really, really caudal tooth, and her little mouth doesn't open very far, so it's going to be really difficult to get out.
It's a cause for concern. Because of Chloe's age, the team don't want her to be under anaesthetic for too long. A difficult extraction could take time.
Chloe's got a bad back tooth, which is causing an abscess on her lower jaw. Because she's quite old and she's quite little, it's very difficult to get her jaw open to extract the tooth. So we're just coming up with a plan to extract it in a safe way that doesn't take a long time so we can wake her up quickly.
Once that's agreed, Holly gets to work. It's a fiddly job, working in a small space, and requires a steady hand. But after just 10 minutes of drilling and gentle pulling, it's done, and Holly is satisfied.
I reckon that'll do it for that one.
Holly has managed to remove the infected tooth.
Happy with her?
Next, she takes a look at another problem area, a tooth which has snapped on the top part of Chloe's jaw.
It's a little bit wobbly and it's really broken. There we go. Right, I think we should have a look at the other side now.
On the other side of Chloe's mouth, she finds another dental issue.
Right, she's got a cavity on this side as well. Do you want me to do the same, or do you want me to leave it because it hasn't caused an abscess?
No, you just do it.
Do you want me to just get it done now?
going to be a quick job, yeah.
Cool. Okay, we'll just do it the same as the last one, all right?
The team have been monitoring the length of time Chloe has been under, but decide it's better to proceed than have to call Holly back again in a few weeks to anaesthetise the elderly Saki monkey for a second time.
It just makes it harder when they're older for them to wake up from the anaesthetic, and so we wanted to be able to wake up quickly and just get back to her house and back to Desmond and up and going again. So the shorter the possible would be the best thing.
Right, nearly up.
Thankfully, Holly sorts the problem out quickly.
Her teeth actually weren't too bad. She had one broken, sort of slightly wobbly one at the top, and two back ones which were both fairly grotty with cavities in. So we've taken out the ones with cavities and the wobbly one, and the rest of them are really nice. We think we've removed the source of the pain and the swelling, so hopefully she should be fine now.
Chloe is transferred back into her travel box. The team will keep an eye on her until they're satisfied it's safe to take her back to her bedroom and the love and companionship of her mate Desmond. It's late afternoon, and after a day that started at 4:30 in the morning, Alison has arrived back in Dorset. With her is the park's newest addition, 10-year-old female woolly monkey, Pichua. While Alison's been on the road, the team at the park have been busy preparing a bedroom for the new arrival. This is where she'll stay initially, in order to get acclimatised to her new surroundings.
Been getting everything ready for her, just getting her rooms all nice and kitted out, woolly monkey style. She's got a nice outside area as well, so we've been quite busy to make sure that it's all suitable for her arrival.
Alison has been planning major changes for the 3 groups of woolly monkeys who live at the park for some time. Until these are finalised, Pichua will be kept in the domestic marmoset house, where she'll have 2 big bedrooms and an outside enclosure to herself. She'll also have 14 noisy marmosets as neighbours, and will be able to hear a group of woolly monkeys just across the way, led by her dad, Chippy. The team quickly release Pichua into her new home.
Come on, missus.
8 hours in a small box is long enough, and she's straight out to have a look around.
You're all right. Oh, that stinky box. Yay.
Alison is delighted that after such a long journey, Pichua seems calm and stress-free.
Oh, straight into eating. She's great. So hopefully this is a good sign for everything to come in terms of meeting other woolly monkeys, making sure she's fit and healthy. We'll keep her in here for, I don't know, a wee while, just to know that she's fit and healthy, and why we then make a decision on who we bring over to her, or whether she actually goes and joins one of the groups. We have a little bit of considering to do on that front. It'll be an interesting voyage of discovery to get to know Pichua and everything about her. So, no, it's going to be an interesting few days, couple of weeks, really.
Time will tell if Pichua will settle at the park, but with the team's expertise at looking after woolly monkeys and companionship of her own kind on hand, there's every chance she's found a home for life.
Girl.
Next time on Monkey Life. Newly arrived female chimp Kalu meets big male Brian.
Good girl. She's doing really good, so I'm pleased.
And capuchin Erico muscles in on a new log pile.